everyone. Welcome back to the Audacity Podcast. I'm Rachel, and I'm here today with my co-hosts, Heather and Haley.
Hi. How are you guys?
Back again.
I know.
Another week under our belts.
Yep. Last week we had Bree on. She's amazing.
I know. I love her.
She's so good. We've had a lot of good feedback, and scratch that part. What I meant was about her. Not about us. We got a lot of good feedback about her.
No. Oh boy, my face already hurts from smiling, and we're just getting started.
Oh my God.
What have you guys been up to this week?
I have been working a lot and just bopping around Beverly Hills the way I do.
Every neighborhood.
She's a local staple out there at the Beverly Hills.
Yeah, there's like a 1 mile radius that I just bop around from like all these different places.
Oh, okay. So we've localized. We're no longer neighborhoods now. Good. I like that. Yeah.
So that was fun. Nothing too exciting, but
What about you, Heather?
Barrett had a baseball tournament. It was Valentine's Day. Did you guys do anything fun for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day? I don't know. Are we even celebrating it anymore? Like, is it even a thing?
Well, I got asked out on 0 dates.
Okay.
And so I watched The Bachelor and made tacos.
Tacos sound great.
You guys, I've never watched The Bachelor. I just started. What happened was I watched The Golden Bachelor. It's older people. Turns out like that's a gateway drug. Like they got me through that because I was like, oh, this is so cute. So I've been watching The Bachelor for the first time ever. Like this is season 22 or something like that. And I'm just like, I guess I'll watch. And it's honestly shocking the way that they make all the girls seem so just dumb, and the way that they have them argue, and it's all just like petty and dumb. And it's shocking to me because they didn't do that same thing to the older ladies on The Golden Bachelor. On The Golden Bachelor, they had like these well-developed lives and hobbies, and they all got along in the house, and there didn't have to be like these catty fights. And when it was time for like the ladies to connect with him, like on The Bachelor, they all have to like talk about their trauma. Like they all have to have like this sit down with him and like tell their traumatic life story about growing up or their family, or like every episode it's a new girl talking about her traumatic childhood episode. But never once did they ever ask this guy, hey, what about you? They never ask him a single question. It's always these like pathetic little girls talking about their pathetic little traumas, like, woe is me. And then they cry, and then he wipes the tear every single time. It's the same fucking thing over and over every week. And I'm like, what is going on? It's
but
so
they
pathetic.
do that on The Bachelorette to the guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
No,
Rachel is just joining the rest of America in season 22.
Dude,
literally.
We've all known that is the script. That's probably why The Golden Bachelor is a one and done thing, because they weren't freaking out about petty drama and fighting.
I know. I don't know. The whole thing is, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit, because I hate when the women are portrayed as like pathetic, because these women obviously have such full, amazing, beautiful lives, family, friends. They're vibrant. They're funny. Like they're fucking funny. And the fact that their arc and their narrative on TV is just like this sad sob story where they have to cry. Like I understand vulnerability, but it's just like, it's so like this scripted thing.
You also have to remember that they liquor them up. It's like a 24-hour open bar, and a lot of the filming apparently is done until the wee hours of the morning. Like those rose ceremonies, you could sometimes see the sun coming up as people are walking to the limo, and it's like,
that's actually why they're crying.
I remember thinking,
me at 4 a.m. with a bunch of annoying bitches and being 10 drinks deep.
Yeah.
That is, nope.
No, that would have made for excellent TV though.
Listen.
They actually missed out. That could have been your calling. That could have been your life calling. Oh my God. You would have been excellent.
All you gotta do is check my stories at like 1 a.m.
So this week I learned that I have one short leg.
Oh, what?
And that's the reason why my back is so fucked up.
Oh my gosh, wait, you're going back to the place in San Francisco.
Yeah, so I went. I've actually gotten more x-rays now, and like I learned that I have one short leg, and so my back is like tilted off to the side. Like it has a big C in it.
Do you need those shoes with like a special?
But is it
like a little
scoliosis?
platform? Like,
But just one, if one leg shorter.
Yes.
Wait, this is nothing.
Yeah, I do.
This is nothing to laugh about. This is nothing to laugh about. But wait a minute. Okay, this is okay. You know they have the.
I asked him, I was like, what do I do? He's
They
like,
have the inserts.
he's like, you put this like lift in your shoe and it's totally fine. And I was like, okay, but what do you do during summer? Like,
oh no.
Oh my god.
well, anyways, by the time I'm done with all this, I'm probably gonna be like 5'7.5".
You know what I've always wanted to try?
What?
Those chairs where you strap your ankles in and they flip you upside down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I swear, when I was pregnant, like I just to get that pressure off of your like pelvis, I used to hang off that side of my bed and just wish that I could like get more.
Yeah, like more of an angle.
Yeah.
I do that because my back from work kills me.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we completely move on from Valentine's Day, what's the best Valentine's Day gift you've ever received? Since none of us did anything.
Yeah.
I got flowers delivered at work, actually.
Oh, snaps.
This is like a really big
Okay, are
arrangement.
you holding out on a whole part of your life that we know nothing, that I know nothing about?
It's new.
Oh Lord, playing with the hair. Okay. Jesus Christ.
It's new.
God. Okay,
God.
so no, that's
It's not,
super sweet.
It's not that deep, but it was nice. Very nice gesture.
It is always
That
nice
is so
to
sweet.
receive a gift.
Absolutely.
From flowers.
Well, and I
Absolutely.
didn't know that they were for me. Like my coworker was like walking through this huge arrangement, and I was like, "Oh, that's so pretty." And he goes, "Yeah, it's for you." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "I thought he got them for me." I was
You're like, this is a little uncomfortable, but thank you.
like, I'll take the gift. I was like, yes. Doesn't even matter who they're from.
Oh, I love that for you.
I don't think I've ever been given a Valentine's Day gift. Maybe
What?
like in 8th grade.
Ever?
I don't think so.
Rachel.
I'm trying to think.
I honestly don't really care that much about it.
I do
No, me
agree
neither.
that it's just like this made up, it's like a marketing thing. It's
I bet you
absolutely-
there's probably like 3 to 4 ex-boyfriends that are going to listen to this and be like, that bitch, I totally
She
gave her.
forgot.
Forgot. And yeah, sorry guys.
I actually have a
Not
really-
memorable. Sorry.
Forgot you.
I actually have a very memorable Valentine's Day gift.
What? Do tell.
So one year, a boyfriend at the time was like, come over, we're going to go to dinner. It was when limos were cool, like way before Uber.
Yeah.
And so it was like, got a limo. We went to this really nice dinner. We went back to his house. And I can't believe I'm going to share this. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And so do you guys remember? Okay, well, first of all, he's like, hold on, I have something for you. And so I was like, okay. And he walks up shirtless, but with this present at his waist. And I kind of sit up and I look and I was like, what? He was like, pull the top off. I was like, okay. And it was his dick in a box. And it was right after Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake, because it was like the Christmas.
Yeah,
it was
the
like
dick
a
in the
Christmas
box
thing. So it
thing.
wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, it was,
They made it like a little song, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an SNL skit or something.
Yeah.
It was creative.
I love it.
Valentine's Day. Romance isn't dead.
Well, speaking of gifting, if you've clicked on this podcast, you already know today's topic is sprinkle, sprinkle, baby.
Yes. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
So if you are not familiar with SheraSeven official, she is an online personality, YouTuber, and she answers questions that women have about how to get men. Let's just watch one of her compilation TikToks right now so everyone can get on the same speed as to what she's all about.
If you don't like where you live, don't date where you live. Get up out of there.
What sign should you avoid when dating men? The negative bank account sign. The minus sign.
You still thinking about an ex that made you pay for stuff? You have Stockholm syndrome. What if he's not attractive but wants to score? Close your eyes, sir. Get you some wrong prescription contact lenses and stick them in there. Everything is a blur, baby.
He said, do I worship the devil? I don't worship a man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What I look like worshiping a man? Stupid. How you doing?
If you're on a date and they're looking at another woman, look at cars. Because a man can be cute and broke, and he knows you ain't going nowhere. But looking at cars is totally different. Oh my God, look, there's a Bentley. I wonder who's driving that. You know, that way he sees. You're not looking at looks, you're looking at money. I mean, yeah. Don't look at other men, look at cars.
What are you guys' initial reactions to her messaging?
She's not wrong. I don't know. I think it's funny. I mean, I think she kind of nails it a little bit.
She isn't wrong with a lot of the things that she says. I think that she talks a lot about a lot of different things, but I think when it comes to financially providing, I don't necessarily think she's totally wrong for some of these men that are like, I want to be the provider. I want it to go back to how it was back in the day, and I want to be the breadwinner. And it's like, okay. So then now all of a sudden you have these women who are like, yeah, like I want someone to take care of me. I want someone to help me pay. Not that I need someone to help me pay my bills, but if you want to kick me a little bit of cash to help me pay my bills, to make sure that I'm living a little bit easier, to take a little bit of a burden off of me, not because I need it, not because there's this like exchange or getting something in an exchange, but maybe because you're just a gentleman. There's a lot of people on there talking about just that. If men want to talk about being the providers, if men want to talk about alpha male and being the head of the household, and okay, then do those things.
I also see a message though about just like not being taken advantage of too. That's like something that resonates with me. Like my ex was absolutely taking advantage of me, cheating on me, using me like financially, everything. And so I don't know, some of that message to me like really was like, yeah. I don't know.
I have a story. So I had an ex-boyfriend who like had not fallen on hard times by any means, because, you know, you help the person that you're with. Like everyone goes through seasons sometimes, but he didn't want people to know that I was paying for the both of us. There would be times where I would hand him my credit card under the table to like salvage his, I don't know, machismo. And then he would like throw down the card and then just be a complete asshole. I look back at my younger self, just like, girl, what in the world? Listen, I'll go 50-50. I love paying. Like, I want to treat you well. I want to make you feel good. I want to make you feel special. Like, I got this, babe. But like the slyness of like the under the table and like handing the credit card and then acting like, oh, I got it.
I read a lot on Reddit earlier today, and I read a very similar story to that multiple times on these different Reddit boards of people talking about men taking advantage and doing similar stuff and using their girls' money to pay for things. One girl mentioned that she had taken this guy out and they were on vacation. So she had got the hotel room and she had bought him dinner and they had this whole nice night. And he posted it to Instagram with the caption, "Treat yourself."
I can relate.
So fucking low, bro.
Okay, so hold on. Let's talk about that though. Let's spin that narrative, right? What about the women who go on vacation and get everything paid for and all these things, and they're just like,
oh, I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I got it like that, right? or like the guy in the background.
I'd like to be.
Oh
yeah, I've 1000%. I mean, it's been a long while since I've done this, but when I was in my early 20s, I've 100% gone on like 2-week-long vacations with guys with $0 in my bank account.
That's okay. I'm talking about the flex after. Then,
I wasn't posting him being like, "Thanks, baby." Like that wasn't it. I was just like, "Look at this great vacation I'm on right now." With who? We don't know.
I deserve a warm beach.
That's a really nice looking Greek island. Rachel, who you with? Nobody knows. Okay, so speaking of Reddit, I saw this thing. Obviously, Shera has a lot of Reddit boards about her, right? And so I thought that this was a really interesting exchange. Someone wrote on the board saying, I just discovered SheraSeven official and am in a bit of disbelief over the amount of support she gets from women online. She seems to teach how to make relationships purely transactional and how to take advantage of a man without becoming emotionally attached. I'm not trying to judge anyone on how they live their lives, but I guess I didn't realize how many women actually want this. And someone's reply to it I thought was really good. And they said, a ton of men have purely transactional relationships with women without true emotional attachment or commitment. They just lie about what they're doing and why. I don't see a problem with what she's doing. Let's be serious. Men cheat so often, a lot of women expect to be cheated on. There's no reason women should be pretending like good men aren't extremely rare and sometimes straight up unattainable. Men only deserve whatever energy they actually give a woman.
Amen.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. I thought that was so interesting because men do transactional situations with women constantly. Like pretty much everything that a man does with a woman, except for like young, dumb love, anything beyond that is purely transactional. So it's like, why as women are we still, leading with our hearts instead of making it transactional for ourselves as well?
Yeah. And what you're saying, I think, is so much more than like sex, money, but just like time. Okay, I'm going to take you here. And so now I'm expecting this.
There's this woman, she's a beauty influencer, and she's kind of blown up because she talks about dating in Manhattan. And she kind of tells like these long-winded stories about her dates. Sometimes she go on like 5-6 dates a week, right? She dates a lot. And she tells like these really interesting stories. And I don't know, I like to follow them. But the other day she posted and she's like, I think I might have just had a sprinkle moment. She talks all about how she went on a date with this man. And I think he was European. He was definitely not American. So there might be something culturally there. But at the end of the date, he slipped her a few $100s as he was putting her into the car and said, oh, hey, like, here's some money for you to go get a massage tomorrow because she had been complaining about her neck hurting. And at the end of it, she was like, wait, this man just gave me cash. Like, I don't know how to feel about that, especially after a first date.
And there was nothing, there was no sexual interaction too, for like, by the way. Yeah. No, I know. I'm just, if you haven't heard the story, like there was.
Oh yeah. I'll link it in the show notes. Also, if you want to watch the series, she posted 2 videos about it. I'll link it below. She's called Oh Pretty Things. And yeah, I mean, how do you guys feel about someone just straight up giving you cash? If it's just someone you've like went on 1 or 2 dates with.
I don't think I'd think twice.
Me neither.
Well, and especially in the context. Hold on. Especially in the context. Like he sent an Uber to pick her up on their date. They went to dinner.
A nice dinner. Very nice dinner.
A really nice dinner. And then she went home and he went home. And as she was getting out, she is very explicit about the fact that she was telling him that she has like a kink in her neck and her shoulder. There's something going on. And at the end, like he just pulls cash out and he's like, hey, like make sure you go get a massage, like go take care of yourself, enjoy yourself tomorrow and and I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
And
that's how I would look at it.
I mean, it wasn't like she's putting her clothes back on and he's like, here you go. I think, yeah, cool. Sign me up. Oh, who said chivalry's dead? Like,
no, I know.
I'm telling you I have some ailment. I'm telling you my back, like whatever the case may be, whatever's going on in my life, if he can and he wants to.
Yeah.
Listen, my love languages are quality time, literally quality time and acts of service. Like if my back is hurting and you want to tell me like, hey, I want you to go enjoy yourself and get a massage and I hope you feel better. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think we just started thinking way too much about like, like just dissecting every little thing.
But a lot of people, people are looking at it and are like, oh, you're a sugar baby. Oh, you're paying. Like, it's crazy what people are saying about it.
It become not normal to do something nice for someone. Like,
I think that the problem was it wasn't like the next day he sent her a gift card to a massage place or something like that. I think the problem that people were having with it was that it was just straight cash. And I feel like because it was the cash that people felt like it was slightly transactional, or maybe that's why she was even questioning it, and that it felt kind of leaning more towards sex worker kind of vibes.
Right. But again, she's very clear that like there was no sexual encounter.
Yeah, no, there wasn't.
And so it's just a matter of like, she mentioned her back hurts, and he's like, hey, like, go get a massage. That's nice. That's a nice gesture.
I think it's a really nice gesture.
I think it's considerate. And then she goes on another date and he does it again.
He continues to give her cash. Yeah. In total, she's collected like $900 cash from this guy.
I think she said, don't misquote me, I think like over the course of 3 dates.
Yeah, he just keeps giving her cash afterwards.
And again, I think she mentions that she says something to him about it. And he's just like, listen, like, I understand what it takes to look the way that you do. Like, you're giving me your time, like the maintenance. I want you to go and enjoy yourself without me around. Like, if you have things you need to take care of, go and take care of them. And I'm just like, a lot of people feel some type of way about it, but
I mean, that's kind of respect, honestly. Like, to be
what?
like, I understand what it takes to be a girl, because that is something. It's like the amount of money that we pay, even getting your hair done.
No one's going to come and talk to me if I have 2 inches of grays, my nails looking like, like crazy, calluses on my feet. Like that costs money.
Yeah.
And again, I understand the optics of it, right? That's why we're talking about it. That's why she's gone mini viral.
Okay. So getting into this like transactional thing though. So up until like the 1700s, arranged marriage was the norm, right? And arranged marriage was nothing but transactional. It was fully like a dad being like, I have a daughter, you have a son, I'll give you X amount of money for you to take my daughter. And it was all about power and linking families. And that was just the norm, right?
And land.
Yes. And like in land and power in general and money. And it had absolutely nothing to do with love. People did grow to love one another, so they say. Some people did. Marriage and monogamy is kind of a transactional thing. Like, this isn't a natural thing that we're doing. Marriage is a legal thing created by the state and the church and all these other institutions. Yeah. So marriage is a transaction created by these institutions. And this trend that's been going on, finding a partner that you love, and it's like this emotional connection, and they do all these things for you, like, that's a relatively new trend. Is there an element of the sprinkle situation just being at the foundation of what marriage is actually based on, created on? Marriage did not start out as go find your one true love.
Yeah.
Marriage was a transaction.
For most of human history.
For as long as marriage has existed, it's been a transaction.
Yeah.
For a short blip of time for the past 300 years, it's been trending more towards people are going for love. Are these things that we're talking about where there's, complications around deciding about finances and what gifts do you accept and is what's what and how do all the transactions work? Where do they fit in? Maybe that's just what marriage is. Maybe that's just what relationships are. And love is an extra bonus. Maybe we've strayed with love.
You know what? This is like, it's not off topic, but kind of off topic. But remember when we were talking about how you could sue a guy in China, like if you were like dating and like
if you like gave him your best years or whatever.
Yeah.
And he doesn't marry you.
Yeah. Talk about transactional.
Yeah. So what is it? It's between the ages of 20 to 25. If you date a woman between the ages of 20 to 25 and you don't marry her, then technically, depending on your social status or your economic status, I guess, she could sue you because after a certain age, she becomes basically invaluable or undesirable. And you've
stolen her,
most beautiful. You robbed her of her most beautiful years. I fact checked this. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And my friend is from China, and she basically said that it's almost more like if you get married and then you get divorced, then you can sue them for that. Like that's like
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
For awesome. Taking your most beautiful years.
I would love to sue some people.
I lived in Shanghai for a year, so what am I entitled to? No, I didn't date anyone. It's fine. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Could you imagine That's wild.
Okay, do you guys want to hear something funny?
Always.
Yes.
So this is a couple years ago, right after I got out of my last big relationship. You know, there was a guy that was interested in me and he took me out for my birthday. And at that time, I didn't really use a wallet. I kind of just like threw all my cards and cash into a bag and like I would just carry that around, a little bag. And so he's like, I'm going to get you a wallet for your birthday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. So we go out to dinner, we have dinner. And then at the end of it, he's like, okay, well, now it's time to open your gift. He's like, obviously, you know, it's a wallet. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like this beautiful like Louis Vuitton bag, right? Like, and he's like, hey, but there's 4 wallets in here. I'm going to have you open all of them. And then you get to choose which one you want to keep. And I'm going to return the rest. And I'm like looking at this man and I'm like, huh, okay. So I go in there and I like pull out the first box and I unwrap it and it's like, you know, a bigger like trifold wallet. Then I open the next one and it's like a smaller like card wallet. And then I open another one and it's like a trifold wallet with a little attachment for a card. Like it was just built up on how extravagant these wallets could get, right? Like, wow, okay, thank you so much. Why are you gonna make me open all these things that like I don't get to keep? Like, isn't that so weird? Like, you're going to give me these gifts that I'm going to open, but then you're like, but you only get to keep one. The rest I'm returning. Like, isn't that bizarre? I ended up just leaving all the wallets in his car. And he was like, oh, you forgot to take your wallet. And I was like, oh, yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to go out with you again.
That is such a Rachel thing to do.
You didn't take any.
I left them all.
You know what? I feel like that's actually like well played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it? I felt so uncomfortable by it that I was like, I cannot.
What if there was just like a particular budget and he didn't want to make it crazy? I want her to know that I took the time ahead of time to do this. I don't know. I'm trying to throw him a bone.
Here's the thing. He was a really nice guy. Really, really, like, really sweet guy. B, the fact that he wanted to gift me a wallet and he knows that I didn't carry a wallet, that shows me like forethought.
That's what
it was a thoughtful gift.
Yeah. And consideration. Like, this is something she could use and it's like intentional.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was sweet that he wanted me to be able to choose one that I liked, right?
Absolutely.
So that was like a lot. The delivery, though.
Yeah. Maybe like take you shopping. Like
we were in the middle of a restaurant and I just keep pulling.
He's like, give me here. Not that one. Okay, give it back.
I can just see Rachel like opening every box. She's like,
so uncomfortable.
Next one.
So uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't think budget was an issue. But yeah, I thought that was so weird. Delivery was weird, and I'm glad I didn't keep any of them because
totally.
Yeah, I think the delivery definitely was odd. I think in that specific case, like maybe just like take you shopping. I feel like that would be very uncomfortable.
Okay, so I'm just going to completely deviate. I feel like if a man or men are listening to this or listen to that conversation,
they probably think
they're like,
entitled little asshole bitch.
Fuck do I do then?
Yeah.
like what how can I win? It's lose-lose.
We're kind of throwing men for a loop in this one.
We kind of are. You know what's a really nice gift that I got from a man?
What?
This was like with a bunch of other gifts that were like material stuff, but he got me like a thing of like my favorite chocolates, which are highly specific and like the correct flavor. And he found an entire bag of like just the one flavor that I like.
That's nice.
That's thoughtful. I like thoughtful stuff where it's like they're paying attention to the things I like. Then it doesn't have to be like a monetary thing. I'm actually weirded out by I'm not like a designer person. Like I don't need designer things.
Right.
And like a designer gift in the first place kind of like creeps me out. Like that's just not my vibe. So like with the wallet things, like that's a Louis Vuitton wallet is not my personality. I never would have chosen that for myself. And I think that that's why like it is thoughtful and it's nice and it's a really nice gesture for him to be spending that money, but that's just not who I am as like a person. So I think that I know he's a label whore. So like that's the difference. That's like the disconnect, I think.
I agree. Listen, I'm not going to turn down a Chanel bag. However, I would value and appreciate someone who took the time to give me something that I needed, right? Like something that I recently talked about, like an interest, like took more consideration into just dollar amount. And we're like, I think it comes back to consideration. And that is why I don't actually have a problem with the TikTok girl's story about
the cash.
Yeah, homeboy kicking her money for her kink in her neck. It's like, she told him, she's like, oh man, like I don't know. I don't remember what her story was. She fell or whatever happened. But like, he's like, hey, listen, like I want you to go take care of yourself. Like, what is wrong with that?
Yeah, because he wasn't just giving her money to give her money. Like,
I don't know. I got a kink in my neck.
Should we get into the advice question?
Yes, do it.
All right. This advice question today is also coming from Reddit because we didn't field any advice questions on this topic. But listeners, if you have something that you need advice on or that you want to run by us, you can write us at our website. It's theaudacitypod.com/advice. Send in your questions and we will answer them. But until then, this one's from Reddit. And it goes like this. This guy gave me $700. Is this a red flag? I met this guy in LA. Red flag.
I'm all love bomb. Love bomb.
Red flag number 1. Okay. I met this guy in LA. We both were from out of town getting brunch alone. We struck a conversation while I waited for my food and he waited for his table. His table was called first before my food came out, so he invited me to sit with him. I said yes because I wanted to get to know him more, and he thought the same. This is during COVID times, so I was scared his face wasn't going to match his eyes when he took off his mask. Thank God he was just as gorgeous. We got along, we laughed. We got to know each other, and then we eventually had to part ways. I had to go back to my friends, and he had to go back to do his thing. Do his thing, actually, she said, so... Okay.
What's his thing?
He had to go back and do his thing. We exchanged numbers because we loved how we met, and ever since then, we've been chatting. We text and we talk on the phone every now and then. After being convinced we had to redo our, quote, first date, we decided he's going to come and visit me. He's been the sweetest. We rarely talk about sex, which is something that comes up almost immediately when I'm talking to someone new. He talks about how we're going to go shopping while he's out here and how he loves to splurge on himself while he's on vacation, aka he doesn't really have a budget. And then while we were talking about things, he says, I want to give you some money so you can get some stuff for us and you can go shopping before I get there. He asks my Cash App and he sends me $700. I've never gotten that much money from someone, and I've dated guys with money before. I even had to call him to be like, I don't know what you think this is, but this is not a transaction. I'm not a prostitute. He laughed and said it's nothing like that, and he didn't mean to make it seem like that. He said he genuinely likes spending money on people, and he appreciated me taking off from work. Do you think that this is a red flag? Is he a weirdo for giving me $700 like that? We haven't had sex and he knows it's not guaranteed. Although, of course, I plan on having sex with him. LOL. She says, I want to. I'm thinking this is just how rich people are. I don't want to be naive and end up on a true crime show.
Oh.
What do you guys think?
Good turn at the end.
Hard turn.
What do you guys think?
Oh, I'm confused. So what were the things that he wanted her to buy? Like he's
coming to town.
Yeah,
he's coming to town, and he's like, here's some cash. Like, I want you to be prepared for when I come to town, whether that's groceries or plan some things. Like, there's a ton of
restaurants. Yeah,
there's a ton of restaurants these days who require a deposit, even for a reservation, right? Like, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with this. I understand the hesitation and like, I'm sending you cash. And so now you feel like you're required to,
more pressure.
Yeah. But if that's where your head goes, then that's a you thing.
Oh, that's a good point. She also said in there that he sent the money to, prepare for his arrival and he mentioned because she had to take off work.
Yeah.
And so it's like he's helped cut offsetting the cost of maybe if she's like an hourly employee or she doesn't get like a paid vacation day, that he's offsetting the cost a little bit for her, like while she's making time for him.
I guess I think the overarching narrative here is if someone can take care of themselves financially, wonderful. And if someone also wants to step in and help alleviate, right? Or help provide a bigger buffer, help you live a little bit more comfortably, bestow gifts upon you, like I don't see a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're so used to seeing and assuming that when we see these young girls in other countries on private jets, living that like, beach life, that it's in exchange for sex. And maybe some of it is, right? Because we know that that's out there. But like maybe there just are a lot of great men who are like, I just want to do something nice for you.
I think a preemptive cash payment before he even shows up is a little it's trying to say something. I mean, I don't know what his intentions are, but like I feel like it means something. It feels too flashy. If I met a guy and we met once and we had lunch together and like we've chatted, we kept in touch and he's going to come visit and then he sends me $700 before he shows up, I'd be like, dude, I have my own money also.
Fair.
Like I'm not
fair.
Like what are you doing? Like it seems a little
it
much.
I don't also think we also don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
Right? What is she talking to him about? What hardships, all these things. But yeah, you're right.
Fair.
If someone's just throwing money around, oh, I got it like that. Yeah, that's
it's kind of douchey.
No, it's very douchey. Absolutely.
Yeah. If I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the grocery store and pick up some stuff. So we have, whatever, and maybe like a couple bottles of wine. If someone sent me like $100 and I'm like, oh, here, let me help you out with that. That would be totally reasonable. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Right.
Like, thanks for that surprise thing here. That's totally different than $700 though.
Yeah, that's why I think
you can buy a lot of groceries for $700.
But that's why
not when you have
these
3
days.
kids at Costco.
But that's why I think that she probably felt like more pressure. Like
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, at first it seems beautiful, and it's like, oh wow, girl, you collect cash, and then the more you sit with it, and you're like, but if I was her, that does kind of seem like a red flag.
Yeah.
God, the red flags are they're mounting. They're catching a breeze. Like
I do think it's a very different situation than our homegirl from TikTok who like went on a date and
yeah.
I agree. What's that?
Yeah, I'm like he can come over though.
I'm like, what city is this in? Well, let's start talking expenses. In LA, $700 does not get you that much.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Proximity matters.
All right, should we get into the top 8?
Yeah.
First up is lipstick. It's Makeup by Mario. I really love their Ultra Suede lipstick. It's in between a matte and a cream. I wear it in the shade Cam, which is kind of like a rusty sort of blush dark color. I don't know. It's late now, guys, but it's a beautiful color.
It's really late for us, you guys.
I'll link it in the show notes. It's a really beautiful color, and I love the texture of it. It doesn't feel like it's drying out your lips, but it also just doesn't have that like oily feel to it. So, Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede lipstick in Cam.
Number 2 is this restaurant that I've been frequenting lately. Crustacean in Beverly Hills. It is so good, and I made friends with the chef.
You're not doing the hair twirl when you talk about being friends with the chef.
I'm just saying, should go.
I know. I love that you've been going there. When Haley was like, oh yeah, I went to Crustacean. I was like, no shit, that place is still open. Like it's
been there for 32 years.
I know. It's a cornerstone of like Beverly Hills culture. So,
but it's so good, and like I haven't had that much caviar in a long time.
Yeah, listeners, if you happen to find yourself in Beverly Hills, crustacean is delicious. And it's really cool in there. There's like a whole like little river that flows through the floor. I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's like koi fish like in
like
the floor.
Plexiglass. Yeah. It's really cool.
Okay, so actually mine is also a restaurant. We are kind of gearing up for spring training here in Arizona. Games start soon. So if you are in Scottsdale and Phoenix for spring training, you need to go and check out Bacanora. It's in downtown Phoenix. It's in the only Flatiron building in downtown Phoenix. It is owned and operated by a chef named Renee. And he now has 3 restaurants in the Valley, but it was on the Thrillist, like top 50 restaurants in the United States last year. It is what they call Sonoran comfort food. Everything is cooked over an open flame. It's smoky. The drinks are amazing. The food is incredible. They're playing like 90s R&B mashup. It's so
Sounds like
good.
a vibe.
Oh, it is so a vibe. They have an amazing Sunday brunch. So Bacanora in Phoenix, you have to try it.
Number 4 is the Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. I'm addicted to this stuff. I promise I haven't been drinking. I don't know why I can't speak today.
I have been.
But it's like rose scented and just so luxurious and soft, and I could smother my whole body in it. I wear this every day, twice a day actually. And it has hyaluronic acids, a duo of hyaluronic acids, and it's by that company Fresh. I think it's like all clean ingredients.
So number 5, it's actually going to be another place, which me and Rachel went for
oh boy,
Martini Monday series. It's La Dolce Vita. We made friends with the bartender, Doug, who's actually really funny and big fan of our podcast. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
What's up, Doug?
Yeah. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
But they I love that. They have this like black garlic martini that
the Gibson with the black garlic oil floated on top. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's so good. I've had so many of them since we went and did that series.
Oh yeah, have you? Okay, so if you're interested, Haley and I tasted it and posted it on TikTok. So you're into martinis, it's all over my TikTok. You can see us tasting it. Live action review.
See me hammered.
Actually, Haley and I next week are going to New York City to film like 8 new martinis.
Beware.
It's going to be unhinged. So
I'm so sad I'm not going. Maybe I should book a flight.
Maybe just show up.
Maybe I'll just
show up.
24-hour turnaround. I've seen you in New York for less time than that.
Oh yeah. I remember
Red Eye, 24 hours with us. You could do
Come
it.
on.
1 year. Oh, I shouldn't share the story. 1 year before an audition, I had a friend who was like, fly to Vegas. We'll come pick you up. And I was like, cool, send the plane. And so they did that. And then I went there, and it was the day before an audition. And I spent less than 18 hours in Las Vegas the day before I had to audition, and they flew me back that morning at like 4:30 in the morning to make it to like the 7:00 check-in before a finals audition for a dance team. And
oh my God.
Did you make the team?
Sure did.
Good job. Hey. That's our girl.
Yep.
That's our girl. All right,
Yeah.
Number 7.
Number 7, La May. Yeah, it's a French restaurant in Phoenix. However, they have this thing called the adult Happy Meal, and it is a martini and truffle fries. And
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Regularly. It's a problem. Highly recommend it. We'll tag the restaurant. You need it.
Number 8 today, our final item. Mine's a lot of beauty products today. Okay, guys.
And ours is all restaurants and bars.
I know. Today we're going with Nest Madagascar Vanilla Perfume. So I normally hate anything that's vanilla scented. I think it just smells cheesy, but I love this as a layering perfume. I like a lot of floral scents, and so adding like a little dash of the vanilla at night just makes it like a little more sexy, and it kind of like doubles the amount of perfumes that you have. Anyways, Nest Madagascar Vanilla, it's just a straight up vanilla scent, and I love layering with it. So everything will be linked below. Go check it out.
Seriously.
Do we have the audacity of the week?
I have one, and it's like a little bit more serious. And this isn't going to be for everyone. It's politicians who have no backbone to actually stand up for gun regulation. We know that the Kansas City Chiefs last week had a parade to celebrate their Super Bowl victory. And at the end of the parade, there were 2 gunmen. Obviously, it wasn't a mass shooting, right? Like what everyone initially thought. There was some type of quarrel, like personal fight. But at the end of the day, 10 people ended up in the hospital. Someone died. When are our politicians going to actually have a backbone and listen to what the people that they're supposed to represent want for our country? I am a gun owner. Matt owns so many guns. We have a gun safe. Yeah, I mean,
I've seen his collection. It's
extensive, and it's
actually a collection.
Most people are for common sense gun laws, whether you live in California, Florida, Texas, Arizona, Kansas City. I think most people agree that we need to do something, that our representatives need to have a fucking backbone. Because the fact that we can't send our kids to school without worrying about who's going to show up on campus. We can't go to places of worship and worry about who's going to have a bad day. We can't go to the grocery store. We can't go to the movie theaters. We can't go to a fucking parade without worrying and thinking about, how do I get out of this situation or this store?
I think about it all the time.
Every fucking where I go.
Whenever I'm underground in the subway, I'm always like, where's my out? To me, an underground, a subway train station where like you're trapped underground, that, I mean, I don't want to put this out into the world, but I'm constantly freaked out about what if someone with a gun came down there and there's only 2 exits out, or you have to run down the fucking train tracks and take that risk.
I think about it with big crowds too. It's like the same.
Yeah.
The fact that now we are so conditioned, it's every few
pervasive
weeks.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. And I feel like it's about lobbyists. It's about power. It's about money. They don't want to listen to what most Americans want and need. I mean, the fact that our teachers have to send emails letting parents know that if something were to happen in my classroom, I want you to know that I will do everything to protect your student, to protect your child. That's fucking sick.
It really is.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
It really is. We're all now conditioned to accept that we don't have the right to safety in our communities, and we all just have to live with it. I did learn this week that there's a shit ton of cutting edge technology that could be implemented and mandated that basically makes it impossible for anybody other than the owner of a gun to use that gun, right? Yeah. There's all this like, fingerprint technology. I did not even know that this stuff exists. And to think that we have all this cutting edge technology that could be saving lives regularly, where a stolen gun is basically useless, right? All of these crimes, all of these
senseless murders,
and the pain that it causes everybody around them, like all of this is preventable with technology that already exists.
It's because lobbyists. It's because the people who have the power to regulate, to govern, to say we need better enforcement.
Most gun owners want safety regulations. Most non-gun owners absolutely want more safety regulations.
Again, gun owner. Many, many, not one, not just like a handgun, right? My household, we're collectors. I understand.
Yeah.
But like,
at what cost?
Where is the common sense?
Yeah. we can do better. I think collectively everybody wants better. And I think we're reaching a tipping point, honestly. Like,
I just feel
hope
like,
so.
and this is sick. This is sick. I hate to even like take it there, but like at what cost?
yeah, I was just thinking, who's the last murdered child before the law changes?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But fuck yeah, those politicians do have the audacity.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take it there,
okay.
but people shooting up a parade, it's like, come on.
I know. Yet another one. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with.
That was heavy.
I know, that was really heavy.
Heavy ending, yeah.
I'm like, how do we come back from that one? Okay.
So The Bachelor.
Yeah, we really just threw everybody for a loop on that one.
So many loops in this episode.
I know. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week with Natalie Kohler, talent agent in LA, to discuss rejection and the rejection cycle that a lot of actors have to go through. So tune in. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great week.